What's going on, Ravens fans on YouTube? It's Flock Nation Fumbles, and as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the Ravens' playoff chances for the season. Um, as you're aware, if you watch football and if you've been watching the Ravens this season, they are a 1-3 record football team going into Week 5. A lot of stuff has been spiraling downhill. I'm not gonna lie. For the season, we have gone from Super Bowl predicted contenders to possibly missing the playoffs. A lot of sports pundits, media, sports outlets have been predicting that we need to hit the panic button for the season. I mean, honestly, where do I begin? We could start with the 1-3 record. We can talk about basically losing the fourth quarter win against Buffalo when we were up 40-25 with like 5 minutes left. We can talk about how the offensive line has just not protected Lamar. I mean, in the game against the Lions, he got sacked 7 times. We can talk about how Derrick Henry hasn't really had a productive game except for Buffalo. In Buffalo, he had 2 touchdowns and like 150 rushing yards, I believe. But ever since then, like, he's had less than 100. And not to even mention, like, he fumbled at least once in each of the first 3 games. We can talk about how the defense just isn't getting a pass rush. Like, we're barely sacking quarterbacks, even at all. We're just not being physical up front, defensively. We're allowing the most yards and most points per game as a defense. Buffalo scored 41 points on us. We held the Browns to 17, but that was a Joe Flacco-led offense. We allowed Detroit Lions to score 38 points on us. And then David Montgomery and Gibbs, they rushed for like over 200 yards. We allowed the Chiefs past Sunday to score 37 on us. Like, that game was just not competitive. Patrick Mahomes had 4 touchdowns, and like Xavier Worthy, it was his first game back after injury, and he just looked dominant. Like, our defense is just not prepared. I mean, heck, Nate Wiggins, even during one of the plays, he asked out loud what was the coverage. And yeah, we could also talk about like all the injuries that are stacking up on the team. Literally, this past Sunday, we had Nate Wiggins get out of the game, Roquan Smith get out of the game, Marlon Humphrey get out of the game, and our trusted, fearless leader, Lamar. He got out of the game. Like, all of them with either hamstring, elbow, or calf injuries. And this was before we had Kyle Van Noy and Justin Madubuike out prior to the game. Justin Madubuike is out for the season with a neck injury. Could be potentially career-threatening. Fingers crossed on that. To hope that he recovers and that we can keep him. Jair Alexander, he hasn't been in the lineup since week 1 against Buffalo. So, like, yeah, look, things are looking pretty dire. I'm not gonna lie to you for this season. Like, we're 1-3, and we play Houston this Sunday, and then next Sunday after that we play Los Angeles Rams. Both of them at home, but we don't know the status of most of our players. Madubuike, like I said, is out of the season. Roquan Smith, he's going to be out a couple weeks. Marlon Humphrey is projected to miss a couple weeks. Not sure about Nate Wiggins. Lamar is doubtful for Sunday. We're not sure how bad his hamstring injury is going to be. I'm expecting Cooper Rush to start against Houston Sunday. But I feel like even with all the doom and gloom, there is a silver lining, because after those 2 games, we get the bye week. And if Lamar can't play against Texans and the Rams, he should be able to play against the Bears after our bye week. And that's also a home game. If we can win at least one of these games against Houston or the Rams, we'll be sitting at 2-4. Hopefully, glass half full, will be a 3-win and 3-loss 500 team going into the bye. Looking at our schedule after the bye, we have a easier path to get to the playoffs. And I think it's going to take a Herculean effort to get there. Browns and Bengals, I feel like they're going to be cooked for the season. Jake Browning's not the answer for the Bengals. They've scored 10 and 3 the past 2 weeks. I think the only team we'll have to deal with in our division is Pittsburgh. And we'll see how well they keep on doing. I know Pittsburgh is our last regular season game, so that might be for the division. Don't know. But we do have an easier, lighter schedule coming after the bye. We have like the Bears, Dolphins. We play Vikings. Green Bay's later into the regular season. That's probably our toughest remaining game that we have left after the bye. We have Dolphins. We have the Jets. Patriots. So we have some very winnable games coming up after the bye. But I am concerned. Even when we were healthy, our defense was just not doing great with all the star caliber players that we have. We do need to work on having better play calling and better coaching during critical situations. Like, literally, why are we throwing on a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 when we have Derrick Henry? Let him cook. Let Henry cook. He's going to be the workhorse for these next 2 couple games if Lamar has to sit out. We need to get Keaton Mitchell off the bench and put him in the game and see if his speed can burst a spark into the offense. I know Justice Hill had a 71-yard rushing touchdown and a pass touchdown, but I believe Keaton Mitchell has a better burst and speed than Justice Hill. But I don't believe all hope is lost for the Ravens just yet. I'm not going to wave the white flag until we start losing like these easier games that we should be winning. I mean, heck, like we've lost to 3 very good playoff Super Bowl caliber teams in Buffalo, Kansas City, and Detroit. Those are 3 of like the top 10 teams in the league. And we barely lost to 2 of them. Kansas City was the only blowout loss that we've had, and we barely have those type of games pop up. That was probably one of the hardest games I had to watch as my 18 years as a Ravens fan. Like, I literally turned the game off 4th quarter when they went up 37-13. But I believe we can turn it around. We just have to start doing smarter play calls. We need our defense to tighten up. I know it has a lot of injuries, but we do have good depth on the team. Hopefully Jair Alexander can come back and do something. But I believe we can still make a good regular season run to make the playoffs. And with that, I will see y'all in the next video.